It's that time of year where we're looking at rookie camp, mini camp, and OTAs, and today we're looking at the Miami Dolphins, and we're getting a good look at Ollie Gordon. A little bit from rookie camp, a little bit from OTA workouts, but we're going to look at his highlights. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're going team to team, player to player, looking at your rookies, looking at your vets, what they're doing behind the scenes at all these practices. So you know what they're doing on the field. You're catching the storylines, whatever I find from the headlines, the tweets that are posted. Click that button. Stop missing out on your players. We're looking at Ollie Gordon today. 17 seconds, but there's a lot in the 17 seconds because I pulled some of these clips from other clips. I got also a little note that I kind of got from an idea from one of the main clips. But let's look at this first. We'll loop it and keep talking ball, but there he is. Catching passes. Look how long he is. Another one of the highlight clips. There we are. Again, a mix of rookie camp and OTAs. Catching some balls right there. Notice we're getting work in the passing game, which, when you don't have pads on, that's what you're going to get a lot of work in as a running back. But one thing to note, from the OTA clip that was posted, one of the most recent clips from the Dolphins social media, Gordon's on there twice. Gordon's on there twice. That means nothing. That means absolutely nothing, but it also means that we're out there with the vets and we're doing enough to where the social media team, the guys getting the videos, clipping it together, are taking notice of him to a degree. What do we know about Ollie Gordon is he is a physical runner, very productive at Oklahoma State, especially 2 years ago, gets the DUI, a little bit of a lower season. We get to the Senior Bowl this year. The one thing that you'll notice, you'll hear a bunch of accounts on this, looks like a jacked up monster. Looks like a jacked up monster. Looks like he should be with the tight ends more than the running backs. So how does this pair well with the Dolphins? And I know you guys got him as a late rounder. How does this pair well with the Dolphins? Well, look at the running backs you got. Last year you got Jalen Wright, speedster. You got Devin Achane. So what do you guys kind of need that really pairs with those guys? Especially Devin Achane. A big physical runner who can take up volume up the guts. Who, when injuries hit, you're not worried at all. Who can take volume, catch ball, that can really be good at all phases. That's something that's a little bit different. That's what you're getting with Ollie Gordon. A very good physical running back. Now you look at him as a later round pick. You have to understand that each draft is different. Each draft is its own draft. Each draft is like its own economy of players. When you look at the running back class for the 2025 NFL draft, you can definitely say it's a very deep class and possibly one of the most deepest running back classes of all time. Probably one of the most talented running back classes of all time. That being said, when you get later in those classes, later in those drafts, 5th round, 6th round, 7th round, UDFAs, you're going to find good talent. You're going to find good talent. This is a running back that would have got drafted a lot earlier in last year's class. That would trump out a lot of running backs in last year's class. Looking at the production, looking at the size. However, in a class like this, you're going to see some running backs with this type of talent just drop a little bit. Teams don't have to jump up and get running backs. They can wait a little bit, go at other positions, fill out the draft, wait more, get their guy a little bit later. A lot of teams did that. A lot of teams mentioned that. A lot of front office execs mentioned that throughout the process. So him going late in the draft does not mean you got a late round prospect of that caliber of talent. You got a guy probably more like middle rounds, more like late day 2 talent, middle round talent, probably more like a 4th rounder in many other drafts. Could be earlier, could be a little later, somewhere around that range. I'm talking in a range. Understand that. I'm talking in a range. I think you throw out the DUI and you throw everything else in there, you're probably getting him a little bit earlier. He's going a little bit higher in draft if you get that DUI out there and we didn't have that dip in production. But when you look at him, he fits well with this depth chart. Jalen Wright that you got last year, he's a very raw runner. However, speed, explosiveness, home run threat, kind of like a big Keaton Mitchell out there that on any given play could house it. However, very raw with vision. You're not going to get that with Ollie Gordon. You got the size to pound it. And he's going to pair well with him, but he's going to pair really well with Devin Achane. I could definitely see him climbing this depth chart, being the RB2. Being the RB2 here. However, you got a vet there that is probably going to be the RB2 there. That is probably going to be RB2 there. That is something you cannot forget. However, over time, because attrition will happen, that running backs are running backs. I'm not saying this guy or this guy's going to get hurt. It's just attrition's going to happen. Running backs are running backs. And having a guy like this as a prospect on your depth charts is going to be a major factor. I think Ollie Gordon here to the Miami Dolphins is a huge get. Talking about this for fantasy football. Redraft, the scope's too far out really for that. We got to watch him in training camp, see how far he climbs up the depth chart. When we're looking at this for rookie drafts, good late round dart throw. And again, we're hammering running backs. That's the strategy. I lean into the strength of the draft. Strength of the draft is at the running back position. Ollie Gordon's got some strength there. And maybe in a year, maybe back in the season, somewhere down the line, maybe he gets some opportunity. He has the potential to take it. He has the potential to do something. Be part of this committee. And he could be a big factor around the red zone and stuff. Maybe never like a top-end RB1. But a guy that can get you some good money ball weeks in your lineup. Maybe something like that. This is a high, fast-paced offense. Maybe it changes down the line if this offense doesn't step it up. But this is a fast-paced offense. And you got a running back here that might be getting some opportunity. Dolphins fans, don't sleep on him because you got him late in the draft. Understand what I said here. This is a deep running back class that's going to give you some upside. You got a good running back. That should have got drafted earlier. Should have definitely been ahead of Jaden Blue. More talented than that. Should have been 5th, 4th round. He had that DUI in there from like over a year ago. That's probably playing a factor. Maybe. You know how these owners, managers like to let players slip if there's any blip of off the field issues. However, talented runners right here. Good size, can handle a full workload. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. Well, thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.